Alright, everybody, welcome back. Thank you so much for joining us for What the Fuck and the campaign 1.5. We are here with Dexter, who plays
Elmer.
That's
the enthusiasm. Oh my god!
I think he's waiting for you to answer.
I did.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I'm Elmer.
I was also
Dexter. Who do you play?
I play Elmer.
It's true. I seen it. We also have Nico, who's playing.
I play Ren.
And Mike, who's playing
Pilsner Altbier.
And our infamous DM, who is?
Not Tony.
It's true. He is. We know. And I'm your host, Shamas. First one, we are going to tackle the next 5 episodes. Starting with Chestrapreneur. Chestrapreneur. I couldn't.
Yeah.
Preneur.
Entrepreneur.
That's a mouthful.
I don't know what that's like. So for this one, the group's kind of heads out, right? You guys head back out to the crossing with your lead. And you're going after John Smith. Don't quite get there this episode. However, you do find something else. Now, as far as this episode goes, Tony, what was your prep like? I guess to begin the encounter, like when you're looking at basically where you want the party to be after they've kind of come this far. After they've made this leg of the journey, what was your prep like? Like, did you have a plan, or were you just kind of going along with it?
No, a little of both. I feel like you should always attempt to make the journey interesting. Even travel instead of just gloss over it. Have something notable, because when you're traveling for 3 days, there's going to be something memorable, And so I make sure there's some stuff, but it's also a lot of just what these guys find interesting or worth interacting with more,
Yeah, and it's always 3 days travel in a Fool's Quest. I feel like.
Yes. Almost always.
It could be the town next door, but it's still going to be 3 days.
It's the physics of Euphrates.
Yes.
Speaking of interesting,
well, it's a rough terrain, half uphill.
Yeah,
3 days from anywhere.
You just walk a lot slower, and you're like, "Come on, guys!"
And there's those random dragons.
Gotta take a lot of long rests.
Yeah.
I found it.
Yeah. Well, I always like to include a dragon. I mean, we're playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Right.
Yeah.
How come there's never?
He had such a great name for the dragon too.
Anthronoxus.
Okay, where did that name come from?
I have no idea.
You pulled it out of the ether, huh?
I was thinking about it a couple of nights ago. I don't know where I got that. I don't know. I probably.
You just grab a jar of scrabbled pieces and just throw them on the table. And it's like,
a black dragon should sound like poisony and I don't know.
It's something you need
poisoning.
A shot for to get rid of.
Yeah.
That whole scene was super amusing. I really enjoyed.
Yeah, that was
playing through that.
Ren, the master negotiator.
Oh,
yeah.
Just completely oblivious to everything happening around him.
That was the most fun. And then I was re-listening to refresh for this earlier, and the sound effects you did for the dragon's voice were fucking phenomenal.
Yeah,
they really were. Yeah.
Well,
the work you do on voice is amazing.
Mm-hmm. Well, half of that was Tony, because Tony puts a lot of inflection into the characters that he does, which just makes it easier on this end, because all I really did was add a little bit of reverb and dropped it down like 6 steps.
All I did was spend an hour working on it, and some blood, sweat, and tears, and...
No, I did it once and then copied and pasted the whole list of effects on everyone I'm after.
Yeah, that's how editing works.
Yes.
Copy paste.
Wash.
No, that was a really fun scene though, with the soup and the dragon, and
Who
now
thought
like
that dragons would love stew and mayonnaise so much?
yeah.
Well, it's not
Yeah.
a picky dragon.
I mean,
I don't think dragons are picky. I think they'll eat just about anything, right?
so he's
Yeah,
young,
especially
too.
as
He's young.
Swamp
He's
dragon.
not terribly powerful, and you guys were an unknown quantity with a,
Yeah. He's probably tired of eating,
a
swamp,
party.
a swamp deer.
Yeah.
And,
the riverboat of people behind us were all scared shitless running
Oh,
around like idiots. Ren's just up there at the steering wheel.
Would you like some more stew?
Elmer was gone.
Yes, I will.
Order in a chest.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
drum
The,
chest.
yeah.
I'm
Boy.
throwing him a birthday party. Like at the end of this, I don't care what else happens unless I die. My epilogue is going to be at Anthronoxus's birthday party.
Ren's gonna be a revenant. And you'll be like, dude, what is your unfinished business? And you're like, I need to get a cake.
Presents for the dragon.
It's like a whole side. It's a whole side series where Ren keeps dying every day, but comes back so they can keep accumulating the birthday. Mike, I saw that. I heard that you fell into that dire trap that people who do a lot of impressions and accents and stuff fell into, and that like you accidentally immediately picked up on
Yeah, oops.
the Bayou accent.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, wait a minute.
Just once or twice. I mean, because Tony does it so well,
Doesn't he?
And I've always been kind of like a sponge for sounds and things like that. So it was easy to mimic to a point, and I have to like tap the brakes in my head for it to keep, so it doesn't just come out.
It's a fun one,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. That's a
You guys also did kind of a shopping situation to begin with at the beginning of the.
well, yeah. I mean,
Dealio.
what would go into town in AFQ be without shopping?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that was when we were leaving leaving
Runoff, yeah.
Runoff. Yeah. Tony was like, one more chance for shopping
Yeah.
before you guys go fight a dragon.
Well, we also went shopping as soon as we got there too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As soon as you get to crossing.
Well, I had to get the
Yeah.
chest. I already told you
Yeah,
I
you
needed to get a
you
chest
had
for
to commission the
Anthronoxus.
chest and so on. But I think that starts running into the next episode.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
What was for the party? What was you guys' kind of conceptions for John Smith? Like, what were not you're heading off to go find him, right? What was kind of running through you guys' mind of like what you might encounter when you do meet up with John Smith?
Oh man, so we've recorded a lot already.
Yeah,
I'm
they
trying to
actually-
remember what I
Yes.
was thinking about back then.
2 sessions ago.
Yeah, I was
met
thinking
John
probably
Smith.
back then more about the Book of Faces and the Facebook and figuring out what we could do with it more than like what is John Smith. I just assumed John Smith was a shapeshifter from the get go, and that was my.
I just figured he was like some slimy thieves guild type guy who just happened to fall in with the swag and stole some stuff.
Thieves.
The what?
Thieves what? The thieves
Like
what?
a thief. Sorry. Yeah. There's
Yeah.
no guilt.
No guilds.
the
The group.
man. He's a member of the family. Let's put it that way. Yeah, the group.
The group.
Yeah, the gang. Yeah.
Nico,
No
following that train of thought, what I guess same question but for the Facebook, right? Like what were I mean, I imagine that it wasn't just Nico thinking that was probably the item of interest. What were the preconceptions for that one, or the implications you guys were trying to like maybe implement later on, like how you could apply it?
I mean, we didn't know exactly how it was powered and what it could do, so we knew it was supposed to do some extra magic shit, but we didn't have really any idea. And honestly, we didn't even know if magic scrolls would work outside of our own schools. Well, I mean for Ren, obviously they will, but we didn't know if we wanted to even try that because we're like, that's dangerous. So the Facebook was really just gonna be like, well, I mean, what do we get it? Once we get it, is it mostly just gonna be a lot, a cesspool full of like commentary from John Smith? Oh, I mean, getting a little too real world.
It's got a bunch of advertisements for stuff that you just were talking about.
Just mentioned.
Like the back of a National Geographic. Buy this kit.
A Chagall will bring us something.
Yeah. Books on scroll.
Books on scroll.
It's the worst idea ever. It's like a downgrade.
Man. All right.
But to order them, you can just use Travis's card, right?
That's the next one, I think.
Yeah, that's the next episode. That I fully expected you guys to take advantage of Travis's card.
Well, hopefully we didn't disappoint in that area.
Not in the least. You went less wild than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
Tony, for Anthronoxus, do you intend us to see him again? Like, is there going to be a time where we're heading back to Runoff, or are we done with Runoff?
Nah, I think most likely. Well, I mean,
that's kind of up to us.
Yeah, ultimately up to you guys. But there's definitely you could wrap that loose end up with Anthronoxus. Yeah.
Well, that's good. I got more shit to collect for him before I, to put in his chest before I go visit him again. I don't want him to be disappointed with a small haul. You know what I mean?
The Travis's card episode. There was something in there that I don't think you guys noticed at all because it wasn't your money.
Whose money was it?
Well, it was Travis's, right? Or the
Right.
trading companies.
Yeah, the trading company. So all that falls back on the trading. Oh shit, I can't think of the name now. Grand Tarpon. Great Terrapin.
Great Terrapin, yeah.
Yeah, well, that'll be a thing later on. Probably. Yeah, you guys you spend a lot of our money. Well, I won't give you any ideas or anything.
Tony, how do you? What's your method for bringing in encounters?
So when I prep, I usually try to, prep the heaviest for what I think they're going to be doing. In this case, it's a Fool's Quest, and they're at a new town. So I had the shops ready to go, and then
it's like you knew.
Yeah, but for like encounters, I don't like random encounters as a DM very much, other than travel checks. Travel should have random encounters, I think, and like in a dungeon there should be the chance for random encounters. But just in general, I don't prep random stuff, so I'll just have, like this episode was mostly just role playing, and like I'll have the shopkeepers, and I know their personality and what their goals are or whatever, and just work around that. Occasionally, if I've got exposition or something, I'll actually write that out, but for the most part it's just what is this NPC's goal, or what's their attitude in general, and just reacting to the players.
For the encounter types specifically, do you have any sort of like other media that you're watching that might inspire you? So for instance, I will go one of my favorite things to do is to go through random D&D lore channels that go through, they'll do Pathfinder and 3.5 books and 4.0, 5.0 books, and they kind of go over random I don't know, NPCs basically, or beasts or whatnot, and it always gives me a cool inspiration to put my twist on for maybe a later campaign. Do you do kind of the same thing, or is yours a different method?
No, I absolutely do that. I'll especially maybe half the time, I've got something specific in mind already, so I don't do that. But if it's something where I'm like, I need to add something here or whatever, yeah, I'll absolutely steal it from stuff. I mean, not really, but I'll look through random encounter tables or campaign settings and stuff like that just to get ideas, and then usually that'll inspire something.
All right. So, what was your guys' favorite part with dealing with the dragon? Was it the soup?
The dragon. For me, it was the mayonnaise.
For Elmer, it was none of it.
Yeah.
Elmer doesn't enjoy things. He's too old.
Well, he's small too, so
I did just refuse to partake during that encounter.
well, I forget which episode it was, and I think it's already been aired. But Elmer did make the comment that everything we've encountered so far could possibly eat him in one bite, and he wasn't liking that.
Yeah, that's one of the. Yeah, that's I want to say that's Travis's car. Yeah, we got the time. I was like, I'm hiding. I hate it here.
Yeah, because Elmer carried on about that dragon for a couple sessions.
Well, somebody keeps bringing up the traumatic incident over and over again all the time.
Yeah, well, Ren keeps
suggesting we repeat it.
Tribute, and Elmer's got PTSD about it.
Ren made a new friend, and Elmer made a new nightmare.
Correct.
That's awesome. And like you were the resident. Elmer's the resident. Like, I don't know, the wise man, right? The one that everyone knows and goes to for advice because you've been around there. Like, how did you not know?
He likes to think
Wise-ish.
so. Well,
Ish.
he likes you to think so.
Yeah. Well, he's the oldest of the group as far as we can tell, so we defer to his.
Well, my wisdom was I'm not talking to a dragon because it's a dragon.
Yeah. Ren's insatiably curious, though.
Yeah, and super innocent about everything. Cause he's like, I mean, the dragon could have gotten mad if he's like, don't you know how dragons get their names? And Ren's just like, no, tell me. Go ahead.
Which is probably the smartest thing. Get the dragon talking about himself. You're good.
Yeah.
Arguably, it paid off, right? Like,
Yes.
it's pretty great.
Flattery help.
All right, that wraps up this episode for us. We're also gonna be wrapping up this portion of what the fuck
segment,
for the general public. If you guys want to see more, want to hear more, yes. Or if you want to jump into this and watch it live, absolutely consider jumping into the Patreon. We got a whole tier system. We also have merch. We have a plethora of other shows. If you like what you're hearing here, you can check out our other shows that are on there. You guys want to do a plug by any means?
Yeah, I mean, we've got our Twitch stream, which we're currently running right now from the Creative Typo team. We just launched our new audio drama podcast, which is it's incredibly successful right now. We're getting a lot of great feedback. That's called ISFET Archives. So it's our first stab at doing, something new outside of the D&D stuff. I guess not our first stab because we have 2 other ones. So, but it's my first stab at doing it. So that's really fun.
Been amazing.
But you can get, all of the episodes that are out right now for ISFET Archives, through Patreon. You can get the rest of this episode through Patreon, as well as add free episodes and just a whole slew of stuff, as well as supporting us. One thing we really want to do is start paying our voice actors, and because of Patreon, we're going to be able to start doing that. So we're very excited for that, and it wouldn't be possible without our Patreon subscribers. So thank you so much, and
we love you guys. Thank you so much for listening.
For all the links, go to foolsquest.com. You can find all the swag and the RSS feeds and everything else there. So thank you so much.
Bye.
Toodles. Bye.
Unless you're a patron, we'll talk to you in 2 minutes.
Yeah.
Music brought to you by Midnight Syndicate. Thank you to our executive producer, Nick Mead. Find out more about the show, Patreon, and everything else at afoolsquest.com. And remember, be safe, we love you all, and stay foolish.